What would you do if the one person you trusted most revealed their true colors in a single, careless act? In the quiet of my small apartment, the weight of that question hung heavy. At 68, I lived modestly, my days filled with routine, morning coffee, a walk to the corner store, and evenings knitting by the window. My son, Ethan, was my pride, my only child. He was 29, a rising star in finance, his life a whirlwind of boardrooms and penthouse parties. I'd raised him alone after his father left, pouring every ounce of love into him, believing he'd carry that love forward. But love, I learned, can be a fragile thing. Ethan visited rarely. His calls were brief, his excuses polished. "Work's insane, Mom," he'd say, his voice smooth as the silk ties he wore. I didn't mind much. I was proud of his success. But last month, as I struggled with rising grocery prices, I swallowed my pride and asked him for help. Just a little, enough to cover basics. He arrived the next day, all charm and smiles, and pressed a crumpled $5 bill into my hand. "For your groceries," he said, winking, before rushing off to a meeting. I stared at the bill, its edges worn, and felt a pang I couldn't name. $5. From a man who owned a penthouse. I didn't confront him. Instead, I tucked the bill into my purse and carried on, my heart a little heavier. But then came the twist I never saw coming. Mrs. Carter, my neighbor, stopped me at the mailbox one morning. She was a gossip, but her eyes were soft with concern. "Eleanor," she whispered, "did you know Ethan's been telling people you're fine? That you don't need help?" She hesitated, then added, "He told his friends you're too proud to accept his money." My stomach twisted. I thanked her, my voice steady, but inside, something broke. Ethan hadn't just dismissed my struggle, he'd rewritten it to suit his image. That night, I sat at my kitchen table, the $5 bill before me. I thought of the years I'd sacrificed, the nights I'd gone hungry so he could eat, the dreams I'd set aside to fund his. I thought of the inheritance I'd planned to leave him, $5 million, the result of a lifetime of careful saving and a small fortune from a property sale. It was my gift to him, my way of ensuring his future. But that $5 bill mocked me. It wasn't about the money, it was about what it said. I was an afterthought. I made a decision. With trembling hands, I drafted a letter. It was brief, one word in bold, unyielding print: revoked. I sealed it, addressed it to Ethan, and mailed it to his office. The next day, I called my lawyer and redirected the inheritance to a local charity for single mothers. They'd use it to build homes, fund educations, give others the chance I'd fought for. It felt right, like reclaiming a piece of myself. Ethan called 2 days later, his voice shaking. "Mom, what is this? Revoked? Is this a joke?" I heard the panic, the entitlement. I stayed calm. "You gave me $5 for groceries, Ethan. I gave you my trust for a lifetime. You decided what that was worth." He stammered, tried to explain, but his words felt hollow. I hung up, my heart aching but resolute. Weeks passed. Ethan stopped calling. Mrs. Carter told me he'd been seen at a gala, laughing, unaffected. But I found peace in my choice. The charity sent me a letter, thanking me for the donation. They'd named a scholarship after me. I framed it, hung it by my window. It reminded me that love, when given freely, could still change lives even if not the one I'd expected. In the end, I learned that worth isn't measured in dollars, but in the choices we make. I'd given Ethan everything, but he'd shown me who he was. And I chose to give my legacy to those who'd value it. Yindi.